Hello Design Legends. My name is Font, and today we're talking about design flaws. Picture this. You open a free PDF site and see 5 different download buttons. Some are ads, some are traps, and only one actually works. Most people click the wrong one first, sometimes even installing malware by mistake. That's not just annoying, it's a design failure. Instead of guiding people, the page confuses them. Good design disappears. Bad design jumps out and causes trouble. When communication fails, meaning is lost. A poster that can't be read, a signboard that points the wrong way, or packaging that hides critical details, all these are examples of design breaking its core purpose. As designers, our job is not just to create, but also to critique and to train our eyes to spot what doesn't work. The first and most common flaw in design is legibility. If people cannot read or see the message clearly, the design has already failed. Tiny text, low contrast, or fonts chosen for decoration instead of clarity make reading a struggle. Legibility matters most when time and accuracy are critical. Airport signs must be large enough and easy to read in a rush. Street boards should stay visible even at night. That's why they are usually made of reflective radium stickers. Food product labels have to show veg or non-veg icons clearly. If it's difficult to find, the design has already lost. On a car dashboard, when speed digits are too small, drivers spend more time squinting than focusing on the road. This tiny oversight directly compromises safety. A poster with its disclaimer in condensed all caps has the same problem. You can technically read it, but only with extra effort. The message that matters is hidden behind unnecessary difficulty. Even packaging makes this mistake. A nutrition label printed over a patterned background hides vital detail. People glance once and miss the important information entirely. Event tickets with seat numbers printed in tiny type cause chaos at the entry gate as people fumble to find their place. In more serious settings, industrial warning boards illegible in small font, turning what should be safety guidance into a hazard. You might see 2 versions of the same layout. One looks elegant but hides its meaning. The other speaks clearly and directly. The designer's eye always chooses clarity. Next major design flaw is alignment. When elements are not aligned, the whole composition feels broken. Even if the content itself is strong, poor alignment makes it look careless. Alignment creates structure, rhythm, and balance. When text blocks float off grid, when logos sit awkwardly in corners, or when margins don't match, the viewer feels something is wrong even before they can explain why. This discomfort is instant. Good alignment builds trust. It shows discipline and precision. That is why books, newspapers, and professional layouts rely so heavily on invisible grids. You can see this in a fast food menu board, where prices don't line up with the item names. Customers spend extra time tracing across the board instead of ordering quickly. A business card where the email ID floats out of line instantly feels sloppy, even if all the contact information is there. Online ads often suffer too. When a Buy Now button drifts away from the product image, the call to action loses its connection. A magazine layout where captions spill unevenly under photos breaks the story's rhythm. Posters often make the mistake of shoving logos into corners without grid logic, making the brand feel like an afterthought. Alignment issues appear everywhere once you start noticing them. Billboards with numbers sliding off grid, social media posts with text awkwardly outside margins, and presentations where logos keep shifting positions from slide to slide. These may look like small errors, but together they signal a lack of discipline and weaken trust in the entire design. The third common flaw is clutter. When a design tries to squeeze in every photo, tagline, and feature, it turns into a wall of noise. The opposite mistake is leaving too much empty space without any focus, which makes the design feel unfinished. Too much content creates confusion. Too little creates emptiness. Balance is the real secret. Good use of space gives the message room to breathe. Imagine 2 flyers, one crammed with 20 tiny offers, and another with a single bold headline supported by clean details. The second one communicates instantly, while the first one overwhelms. Local election posters are often crammed with 50 candidate faces, leaving voters unable to recognize a single one. Grocery store leaflets list every product at the same size, which removes hierarchy and reduces impact.
Startup pitch decks can be guilty too. Dense charts stacked on every slide bury the story instead of highlighting it. News channels overload the screen with tickers, logos, hashtags, and flashing ads until viewers simply give up and switch away. Even mall maps fail when they draw every shop at the same scale. The layout overwhelms instead of guiding. Clutter also lives online. E-commerce homepages packed with pop-ups, banners, and flashing offers drive users to close the tab in frustration. But swinging too far in the other direction is just as weak. A minimalist ad that shows nothing but a small logo in a sea of white space looks incomplete and lacks focus. Event invitations that leave massive blank zones without hierarchy feel like they're missing the message entirely. Clarity lives in balance. That's the mark of a thoughtful designer. The fourth flaw is inconsistency in style. Style is the personality of a design. When it stays coherent, the design feels reliable and professional. And when it shifts, the design feels untrustworthy. Consistency builds recognition. A single design language across fonts, colors, icons, and imagery ties everything together. Brands spend years building a unified identity, and a single mismatch can undo that effort. The eye may not always explain what feels wrong, but it instantly senses when the rhythm is broken. Take an app that shows flat illustrations and buttons on one screen, then switches to 3D style on the next screen. The style feels split, and the experience feels patched together. A brochure where some pages use sans serif fonts and others switch to serif breaks its own flow. A movie poster that combines hyper-real photography with cartoonish text creates a confused mood that doesn't match the story it wants to tell. A PowerPoint deck where one chart uses soft pastel colors and the next uses neon gradients has no unity. A government website that mixes 3 typefaces on a single page feels chaotic and unprofessional. A fashion website showing some products on smooth gradient backgrounds and others on textured props looks stitched together rather than curated. In interfaces, inconsistency quickly erodes trust. A confirm button that is green on one screen but red on another leaves users uncertain about which action is safe. A social media campaign that shifts tone from formal corporate posts to casual meme-style content loses its brand voice. Even a brand logo refresh can fail if the new version is still paired with the products that follow older design language. The old and new identities clash. All these slips in style show how fragile design trust can be. And that brings us to the bigger picture. Good designers don't just create, they critique. The ability to detect flaws is what separates a beginner from a professional. Here's a challenge. Share in the comments the worst design you've seen this week. Whether it's packaging, a billboard, or a clumsy app screen. Let's start building our collective eye for spotting flaws. The best designers don't just see what works, they notice what fails and learn from it. And if this breakdown sharpened your design vision, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay curious and keep designing.